6:30 what? 3? 2?
30.
6:32?
Yep.
You all set, Ron?
Yes.
Okay. The meeting will now come to order. We'll all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so in case people out in television land don't know it, we have a new town administrator, Roberta Frazier, who has been here just a week and a bit, 2 days now. So she's our new town administrator, and we welcome her to New Ipswich. And anybody that is out there and has questions can feel free to call her. Her door is always open, she said, and she's willing to work with people. And so far, she's worked with us pretty well. So, Roberta, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, the next order of business here is as far as the way the agenda is. I'll read the agenda. And first thing is to elect the chairman. Then it says assignments, which means liaisons with the individual boards or committees. Then appointments, which we don't have any tonight, was number 2. Any other business that you may have or maybe in the folder that you'd like to discuss is also on 3. Office documents, official ones such as manifests and payrolls, etc. 4 payrolls, I should say, and any other things that need to be signed and sent to DRA. For example, tonight the budget's in here, which has been revised after town meeting and so forth. So, and then any other business that you may have that can come before the board as far as public is concerned, or Roberta has, or Ben has, or I may have, it would come under number 5. Now, like I said, these can be changed around if you so desire, but you got to keep some sort of semblance of an order.
The only thing
What would you like?
that I would request, and it came up at your department head meetings, that if by chance we call on a department head to come into a meeting, that we put them at the top of the agenda,
Yes.
just because.
Well, they would be anyway.
Yeah, just because of
Well,
working all day and.
I think
that
that would be a normalcy that you would do.
Yes, I would. Yep.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
just
so
want-
then ex officio reports, which we probably don't have any of right now anyway, unless you wanted to give one, for example, as a representative of, we're all ex officio of any committee.
Like for the
if we wanna
planning
be.
board or.
Planning board, ZBA, or Conservation Commission, things like that. And then if there's a need for non-public, I don't know if you wanted one tonight or not.
Nope, I
Or
don't feel there's.
regarding some of those issues that,
We'll wait till we get to the point of
of which.
other business step, and then
All
we
right.
can discuss it then.
Okay, so then we can all take a vote to adjourn, and unless there's something else that anybody has. All right?
Yep.
Okay. So the first order of business then is to basically nominate and elect the chairman, or officially do it.
And I would like to nominate George to be chairman still. I mean, New Ipswich has a habit of having the person who's last year on the Board of Selectmen being the chairman. But I think in the situation that we've sat at a board, George has been on the Board of Selectmen for a lot more years,
Too long.
and he has a lot more knowledge of the board than I will probably learn in my lifetime.
wouldn't say
I don't think that we would make a mistake by having George as the chairman.
Right.
I don't think that it makes sense just to have someone whose last year of being a selectman, having them as chairman.
You know, well,
I mean,
I might disagree, but anyway.
yeah, no, but
I think-
what I'm trying to say is,
Mike, do you have the time to be chairman
no,
this year?
and that would be,
That's perfectly fine answer, Mike.
yeah. No, but I
do not.
I also
Right.
disagree with the idea of just because your term is up at the end of this year, you're the chairman.
Well,
I understand that, but I also understand that it also gives a chance for someone to step up when they wouldn't normally.
No.
And
No, I
that's
mean-
all.
because of it's generally accepted the third-year person is
Yeah.
gonna be the chairman in most instances, probably.
But how does that better our board just because I'm the third year person to be the chairman?
Well, you may be enhanced now just because of the fact that Roberta is a selectman and the town administrator, so that's gonna be a definite asset to all 3 of us.
But
So I mean,
Let's put it that way.
I like I said, I nominate George to be the chairman.
I'll second that.
It's Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I guess it's 2-1. Well, anyway, all right, now, committees. You're still
I'm still on the
to
planning
start
board.
with.
Okay.
You still wanna be the plant? Yeah, well, you're
I don't-
pretty much
I don't
supposed to
have
anyway.
to.
Well, who
By
told you
reading
that?
the RSA
It
and the
says
planning board that, actually, you don't even have to have a selectman.
you can have a
You can have a
representative. Is that what
representative.
it says?
Yep.
Yes.
I remember.
But I will.
Would you like to stay on?
I
Mike?
will stay on the planning board for the
This
duration of my
resolution.
term.
That's fine. If it's one that you've enjoyed and you've done really well with it, you
It-
have
it-
done extremely.
It takes a lot of time,
Mhm.
so, and that's one of the reasons
All
why
right.
I will not be chairman of this board.
Okay, no, well, you can do both.
No, I can't.
I've done it, but
I know, but
It's, uh,
you're a better man than I am.
I don't know about that. I don't think it's, but anyway, all right, now conservation.
I would
You're
prefer
now-
not to be on it.
What would you rather, what would you like to be?
How about this?
What, go ahead.
How about, why don't we skip conservation for a second?
Go ahead.
How about recreation, Ben?
I will take recreation if you would like to step down from
Yep.
it. But that is fine.
Well, you're still gonna be involved.
Oh, yeah, I'll be involved anyways.
I
but-
understand, but I
right?
don't mind being in charge
Hmm?
of that.
Yeah, I'll be involved, and of course, I'll be at the fishing derby and, you know.
Yep. No.
Which, when we get to it, we'll,
Yep.
we got,
We got
Roberta
Easter
raised a
egg
question
coming
today, in
up.
fact, about that, but,
Okay.
recreation and, okay, so your recreation, Ben?
Yep.
You got that?
What would you like to be on first, George?
Ooh,
Is there anyone that you would like to stay on?
well, I'll be the liaison with the town office, if nobody minds, I can do that.
Sure.
I can handle that, right? Okay, what else were you a liaison?
I was last year on the police department. I don't mind staying, but if someone else would like to, that is up
You wanna
to.
be with police?
I don't mind staying with the
That's
police.
fine.
I've had a good working relationship with them.
All right, and you're gonna be police. You wanted highway, I think you indicated one time.
I thought about
A
that,
while
but
back.
that doesn't really, it's not a huge deal if I do that or not.
Why? You can-
No, I
Doesn't-
mean, I know that you've done highway for a while.
No, it doesn't matter, maybe it needs a change.
All right, I'll do
To be
highway.
honest with
Sure.
you, let's put it that way. I didn't wanna be detrimental to
No,
anybody,
no,
but- Okay, so you do highway.
yep, so I'm all set.
All right, didn't I do fire last year? or
Yes, you
I?
did.
We all did, I guess, in one way or another.
I mean, the thing is, just because you're a liaison,
No,
it
I
doesn't mean that you don't
understand.
talk
It's
to
just
the
when
department.
someone has to bring
Exactly
something to them.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm doing town office and fire. What else?
Someone needs to do emergency management.
I don't
you
mind
do
doing
that?
that.
Did you
No,
do-
I was not on it last year, but
No,
I
I
would
was,
not.
but you.
You were.
I would not
Yeah.
mind doing that.
And that ties in with the police anyways.
Yep. No, I have no problem doing emergency management. Jim does a good job.
All right, so that's gonna be Ben, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now what about any of these other miscellaneous committees and so forth? Is there anybody here interested, for example, in
Old
being
Town
involved
Hall.
with the video committee or Old Town Hall? And,
See, I thought with the video committee that the town administrator,
did-
we were pushing that way with Marie, that because the town administrator was here, I mean, that,
Well, she more or less oversees it. and Roberta went to the meeting last week anyway,
Yeah.
so.
so I don't
As
know
long
if
as
we
she
need.
doesn't mind doing it. All right. Okay,
We've got it up and running now. It's not like it's a.
what else we got left, Michael?
We have Old Town Hall, I don't know if that committee still is.
No, they. well,
Did we have a representative on
I
that?
was.
Oh, okay. No,
but
I could
there-
not
but-
remember
but
to tell
there
you the
was-
truth.
There was never a meeting.
Okay, and the only other one that's left is finance committee,
There's finance,
right?
yeah,
Well, that's one of the major ones, but that's only for 3 months. Neither one of you, his schedule at that time is bad.
I'm
Well,
doing-
no, it
I'm
was
doing-
that last year. But
I'm doing planning, so
Can I
am
make a
not gonna
suggestion,
do
please,
finance.
though, while we're talking about finance committee?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and I know exactly where you're gonna
What
go
is
with
it?
that, and it's a good idea.
I would like to see finance meet at 6 o'clock on Tuesday nights for an hour prior to the selectmen's meeting.
For an hour at 6 o'clock?
And then we go into the selectmen's meeting at 7 and we just schedule them up so that all three of us can be involved. We have one representative that stays with the committee, but then all three of us know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean.
And then we don't have to have the department heads come twice to any one of us.
No, and I agree, I like that idea. I mean,
I don't
and
know
then
if I
at
know
that
it.
time, you have the finance and the selectmen all working on the budget at the same time.
Yep.
I think we
In
did-
over 4 or 5 weeks, there's no reason why an hour shouldn't work.
Well, an hour may not be enough time. That's
Well,
you
and
just-
we can adjust it as needed, but I
Yeah.
would like to go that route if that's all right. I would like to project that
all
route.
right, so all three selectmen are in finance.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
and
what they're
then,
saying.
yeah, and then if something changes and we
Right.
can't do it that way.
Or if
we
they
can
need to
always
have a
move
special
back.
meeting, we can send a representative to represent the three of us.
Well,
And then that way, when decisions are made at finance committee meetings, everyone knows what's going on, so we're not second guessing the finance committee.
And we're not asking each department head individually, what's up with this or that. It's everything's on the table at once.
Yeah, I think it holds more
Well, I
it gives
think-
the finance committee more backing too.
most of the time when we did our discussions with, and you, I don't know where you were, but when we did it, we met with different department heads, the finance committee, a majority were here anyway this
No, I
past
mean, it
year,
wa-
so.
Yeah, the last 2
It's not-
years, I think the finance committee and the board of selectmen have worked pretty good together.
I think it worked the best it ever did.
In
Good.
the last 2 years. But I
There
mean,
may be people that disagree with me,
but is there ways that we can make it even better for everyone?
Yeah.
And I actually like Ben's plan. Not actually,
You
but
think-
you know.
No,
think it
I
can be
understand
done
what
in
you
an
mean.
hour then?
No,
As
but,
far as-
okay, let's say if we start in September.
Yeah, I mean,
You wanna start in September?
Yeah, say the
I don't know if
front.
let's just see.
I mean,
come
and-
fall. I want to make sure the discussion's now so that they understand whoever's on that
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, and find out if that's something they wanna do.
Well, you may end up with, what, at least one new member, right? I think so.
Well, let's, again.
Maybe
w-
two,
yeah, we
on the
can-
finance committee,
yeah.
but that's just, I don't know what their
Yeah.
individual schedules may or may not be
And
either.
that's when we'll reach out to the finance committee and,
All right.
We can
so-
have them in a couple weeks and set
Yeah.
it up. And they may want to have a summer meeting to go over that packet we got. They never had a chance to really go over the
Which packet?
yeah. Why can't I think?
Hmm?
Long range planning, but it's
Oh,
not.
capital
the
improvement?
Capital improvements.
No,
I know they
alright.
looked at it, but they never got really a
You know,
chance to.
and that would be actually something good to
That's-
sit and discuss with the, the selectmen and the finance committee, this is
Prior
what-
to those
Yeah.
The
meetings.
biggest share of that was
Planning.
because of, the
Does it?
planning board, I don't think they got it out soon enough or something,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
remember.
it came
now.
out right about the same
Not
time the finance started doing
Nah,
their meetings.
Nah, it's kind of towards the middle end.
Well, but anyhow,
Yeah.
at least it's there. It's something we can use as a tool.
Yeah.
All right, you got planning board and highway,
Yep.
anything else?
Um,
All right, Ben, you got recreation, police and emergency management,
Yep.
right? Okay, and I got town office and fire, and are there any others?
conservation.
Besides, if we all meet with the finance committee,
Yep.
then conservation?
And that's a Wednesday night, right?
Yes.
So that would be, and they only meet once a month though, right?
I guess
Yes.
so. I don't know what the schedule is
I,
right now.
I'll do conservation.
You're gonna do it?
Yep.
All right.
I'm already doing a Wednesday
You can step in
Oh,
between
the-
the two.
SAU.
I wouldn't mind doing the SAU.
No problem.
You're gonna do SAU?
Sure. I'll step up to
Alright.
that.
You're gonna be able to get there on Monday night?
Yep.
Isn't it Monday
Yeah.
night? Yeah.
Right now I can.
Well, I know you can right now, but
No, I can through the summer. Last fall we had different
the
circumstances.
problem is, don't try to
Do too much.
spread yourself too thin.
And the
That's
thing
what
is-
can happen.
With the SAU, the first meeting of the month is usually a report of the schools, and then the third meeting of the third week of the month is a business meeting.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can think of offhand that you were involved in?
Last year I did emergency management.
You're gonna still be
Old Town
involved in
Hall.
this cable thing? Well, I guess you and I were both involved in it to a certain extent.
I think all
Yeah.
three of us are involved with whatever goes on with the video at this point, but she's our.
No,
we're,
No,
Oh.
that's not what I'm talking, not cable, why did I say cable?
Well, that-
I meant windmill,
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, on the planning board, I'm obviously,
I don't know what they got scheduled.
we
They
have
don't
no
scheduled.
meetings scheduled until the first
They
of
don't.
April.
They don't have any meetings scheduled for Concord or anything,
No.
do they? The last
No.
one, the last one was in Concord, last
Yeah.
week or the week before.
Last Monday, they had a meeting in Concord, and they had a conference call, but,
They called you and asked you for
Yeah,
conference
I-
call, where, here?
they
Did they
were
go to
set
Concord?
up.
They didn't go to Concord?
No, some people went to Concord, but people who couldn't
Oh.
go to Concord.
They never told me that, I
Called them.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I was already in Concord, but I was coming back home because I was on a field trip.
Anyway, I don't know what came out of it, do you?
No, not yet.
You got a
I mean,
meet-
right now there's,
You got a meeting tomorrow night?
no. We have, actually, this is the 4th week anyways.
Okay. So is that any others that you can think of? Is there anything you want that you think we should be involved in other than those?
No, sounds like you covered them all.
Okay. Well, if I didn't, you tell me. I know you
Or if
will.
someone comes up, and we may be creating a new committee or two during this year too. So
I mean, because building's defunct right now,
Which?
we got,
building committee,
yeah, we got to figure out what we want to go there.
Well, I think that's one of the things
that we need to rebuild.
you should somehow come up with some sort of a,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what it is, a plan. You don't have any money, so you can't spend any money on it, basically.
What are
No.
we talking about though?
Well, we got
I'm
two
talking
different.
I'm talking about a building committee for all the buildings in town, not about
So
a
am I. That's what the
singular.
other one was supposed to do
Yeah.
too.
But, I mean, we have money from general government buildings to spend on buildings.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. Just that building over there, you can't spend it on.
Correct.
Not out of general government
Not
building.
until there's a new thing that passes.
You can't spend the
I
money.
don't, I say I disagree,
know you-
I
I know you disagree
I
with it.
disagree with that philosophy because that was a specific warrant article for a specific purpose on that building. That wasn't, it wasn't saying spending money on a government building. I think that you can't spend $46,000 right now to tear it down.
No.
But if you need to replace a door or a window, you can go out and buy that door or window and replace it.
Well, see, I guess.
Yep. Am I right or am I wrong?
I sort of agree with you, but when the lady said that she didn't wanna see one penny spent on that building, I took that as pretty
Who?
much gospel. You remember last year, not this year, last year.
It's been, and until something's reworded, I do believe George is right, Mike,
No, I
unfortunately.
disagree with that.
I would
think-
like, no,
think-
I would like to look farther into it, by all means. I think we
if
need to
there's-
have a legal.
I think if there's an emergency condition
emergency,
on
okay,
it,
emergency
yeah, like
emergency
a window blasted out, a door
No, no,
broken.
you're
I'm
right.
not saying you can go in there. There's certain things you can do with that building.
If we had to
and we
redo
will-
something with the water pump,
Alright.
then
And,
we could go in
and we will get to that
yes.
point in a little, that will be an order of business.
I know that because I know just where you're gonna say, or where you're
Yep.
coming from, so. All right, so we're all done with any appointments,
Yep.
any assignments or anything else?
I think so.
I think we're
Okay.
good.
All right, now, the next thing is, naturally, is, we need to do this. One thing, the budget has to be signed tonight. I don't know if you've been through it or not.
There's 3 copies?
No, she didn't make 3, but that's
MS2
okay.
and MS6.
Alright.
This is for your appropriations and that's your
Okay, and
actual budget. Then if you wanna go down the road here. I guess the old way of coming in here at any time of the day or night and signing these things is, it's probably, this is better, it's more orderly and stuff, so Roger don't have to call you in the morning and ask you to come down and sign anyway. If we do it all on Tuesday night, there's no need for him to come and sign unless it's an emergency or something.
Well, unless we go back to summer hours, then we're going to have to come in between.
Oh, yeah. But that's gonna be down the road a ways,
Yes.
yeah, so, okay. Hey,
Yeah, I can look at that one while he's doing that one. We don't need any motion, this is already passed, we just need to sign, make sure it's all correct,
We need
right?
a motion to
You
sign
can make a
MS2
motion,
and the
if
MS6.
you make a motion, then you just
Okay,
sign it.
before we,
Everything is okay as far as you can see anyway, it adds up to $2,566,000 and whatever the change was, if there was any. And then the articles,
okay.
separate,
800,
what, 8 something?
yeah.
Yeah.
3,557,495.
Special article, actually it's even more than that.
Hmm?
Because then you have the special articles and then you have the,
Of 956 in articles.
Total's 3,557,495.
How'd it come out to that? Is that
because
what
you have
got?
$1 million in articles.
Yeah, it's almost $1 million just in warrant articles.
Yeah, they're,
Because both roads
Oh,
passed.
5 million it said.
$3,557,495.
I how it came up. Oh, I see it, yeah, you're right. I remember now that, but some of those articles didn't pass.
yeah, 3,
Hmm?
Good chunk of them passed.
yeah.
Only the last 3 didn't pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 46,000, the 12,5
And
and,
the 22,
Yep.
22.
yeah, for the paving of the,
Oh, the 25,000, yeah.
20.
And then the other one is an article that's got cap reserve and you're raising $35,000, right?
Yeah.
I move to sign and appropriate both MS2 and MS6 forms.
Okay, you second it? I guess
I'll
you
second
did.
that.
You already signed it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, vote was unanimous, 3-0 to do. Send this to the DRA. Attention, Shelley. What do you got, 2 days left? How many days are left?
It's
After-
20 days after, so it'll be what, 14 days after?
This is 14? Yeah, I guess so. I was thinking. That was March 12th, you're right.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. You want these just so you want back in the folder?
Oh, yeah, put mine back there. I'll take everything out tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, the MS6 and the MS2. You signed the wrong place, Benjamin.
Okay. Oh. And I did it again.
Okay, Michael. That takes care of that, okay? We're all set? We can give these back to Roberta so they don't get lost. All right. Now, that thing we were discussing a little while ago here prematurely was just an emergency management thing, which Jim Hicks is gonna attend anyway, and if there was any major costs, are you aware of any major costs that were, that came out of the storm of February 8th to the 10th?
You'd have to talk to Peter.
No, I think she did, but apparently he wasn't aware of too much. Did he give
No,
you a
he didn't
figure?
give me a total, but he did say he had some, like a transmission, I believe, for a truck and.
Was
snow
that done in
removal.
that storm?
Yeah.
Do you wanna apply for it?
Also,
Yes, he's done
Fill out
preliminary
the forms?
paperwork.
Okay.
yeah, under that, can't you, receive extra money from plowing too?
Mhm.
For
Snow
excessive
removal
amount of
and-
time, yeah.
Yes, yep.
If they deem it,
Accept it.
if they deem it right, in other words,
No.
if they accept it, yeah, sometimes it's stringent, and other times
I
it's.
read, I read the
So
email.
those are the meetings there where they, like April 2nd is Greenfield. He may go to that one, I don't know. He probably will.
It'll be
Yeah,
either that one or the one earlier in
Goffstown,
Goffstown.
which is April.
Same day.
Yeah, he probably go at 1 o'clock. I could possibly even go with him, if you don't mind.
No,
Next
Jim
Tuesday.
I
Hicks,
No,
have,
go ahead,
Jim
George.
Hicks, him and,
and that's why we keep
You
you
don't
as
wanna
chairman
go,
of the
do you?
board.
I certainly can, if you want me to, or you and Jim will probably do a good job.
I don't know
I think
about
Jim
that,
would do
but
just
Jim
fine
will.
on that. You've
All
got
right.
enough stuff still getting
So
going
on
on here.
We need
April
to,
2nd, you'll go to that.
do we need to call him and tell him? Let's see, it doesn't say that, does it? Oh, if you can't make it, you call him. All right, so, let's play it that way. Peter and I and Jim will go, hopefully. You got enough to do just to get broken into here, not broken into, but. Okay, then, this is business, I guess, if you wanna call it that. The overnight usage of town-owned vehicles, and this is a policy that was made up, which
Okay.
I think, you haven't read it, have you?
No,
I
I'm
just
reading
gave
it
him
right
a
now.
copy.
You got a copy there? All right. What'd you say, you got a copy?
I just gave him my copy.
Oh. All right, so. Okay. You're familiar with it, you
Yep.
wrote it, didn't you?
No, I didn't write it.
Oh, you didn't write it.
Nope. It's basically,
I didn't ask you that to be derogatory.
no,
just-
I basically asked the department head to write a type of policy, so that way, if a question comes up, we can explain, this is the policy of the
Well, he
town.
may have gotten it from some other area, some other town anyway, so I don't know if he did or not.
I have no problem with this policy.
None?
It clarifies.
It clarifies just about everything we need clarified, and the department head is responsible at that point if it's misused. We got, and that's where we ought to go to anyhow for if something comes up, we need to verify with the department head anyhow.
Okay. The one thing it doesn't say, does it? maybe it don't need to be clarified as far as weekends are concerned. There were some people that had problems with weekends.
No, see, basically, I think the situation with this policy, if you know that there's gonna be a reason to have the vehicle on a Friday or a Saturday because of snow
Predicted, right?
predicted,
Yeah.
then obviously that the vehicle would be there for the use of the employee.
Okay, so that comes under your inclement weather conditions when he's on call and has
Yep.
primary responsibility to respond. Now, in the highway department, for example, it's the foreman who would probably be on call and responsible, even though the road agent also gets called and is aware of things that are happening, just like the police
Yeah.
department.
I mean, the
where,
road agent is the department head,
That's right.
so he's the one making the decision of who has that,
Yeah.
why is that vehicle there? You know what I mean? What's the purpose? And then if there's a
Police
problem,
department or
then
anybody.
because that policy's there, you go to the road agent and find out why.
Okay, in this case here, when he's on call and his primary responsibility, which is the foreman's responsibility, or one of his
Yeah, is to check the
responsibilities right
roads.
now, is to check roads, which was an issue here a week or 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was, 'cause he was out apparently riding around on the weekend with a town truck.
No, I don't know if he was out riding around, that's not the statement that I.
I didn't say you
Yeah,
said it.
no, well, but, because some of this policy's coming from me. The truck was packed in someone's yard
I
on a
understand
weekend.
that. But I also thought that, in talking to other people, that one of the problems was 'cause it was out riding around checking roads or something.
Well, I mean, if
That's
he's
where you-
out riding, checking roads, he's doing his job.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Other people don't agree with that particular statement,
Wow.
so I think the board needs to take a stand, is what, basically is what you're being asked to do. And
Yeah, that's why
you
there's
felt
a-
that you wanted this, is that if he's,
If it's, a-
he or some other employee of the highway department is out checking roads, or looking for tree branches, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera, which does happen
Oh, yeah.
on off-duty times,
Yeah.
then,
It just protects you from, and it's a vehicle being spotted at the Ringe Walmart, at, the
I hope that
Market
hasn't-
Basket.
that hasn't-
No, it hasn't,
okay.
but what I'm saying, there's a policy in place.
Yep.
That employee will know, and whatever employee it is, that's you, because, I mean, you have two employees in New Ipswich.
this is just a
They,
draft.
they've gotta be in Concord at 6 in the morning, or
Mm.
7 in the morning for a training course or something. They take the truck home, say one person picks up the other person. Yeah, you have the truck at your house because you're taking the company vehicle to the state to get training on whatever.
Yeah.
You know you have a responsibility how that vehicle's supposed to be and what it's supposed to be doing.
Okay. I guess that one of the things also is that you have to have faith in your department head, or whoever is the supervisor at the time, department head in this case, with highway or police chief
Yep.
and road agent or director of public works, so you have to trust their judgment or discretion.
Oh, and that's what this is. This is a judgment call on the department head.
Okay, there isn't any words that need to be changed here or anything, right?
I didn't see any.
I'm
All right,
comfortable
so-
with it.
We can ask
Mr.
Roberta to
Chairman?
type this up. Yes,
Did you have intentions?
state your name, please.
George Slyman,
Yeah, okay.
do you gentlemen have was your intention to read that aloud? So that we have it on record as well?
No, it wasn't. You are a spectator, I guess, so I guess
Would you
I
like me to read
will
it,
do
George?
that. What? What'd you say?
Would you like me to read it?
Go ahead.
All right. Town of New Ipswich Department of Public Works Highway Division. Occasional overnight usage of town-owned vehicle policy. Occasional overnight usage of town-owned vehicles is permitted when authorized by the department head. Such occasional usage of town vehicles may occur when an employee conducts town business away from the employee's normal place of work and outside the employee's normal scheduled workday. Other types of occasional overnight usage is permitted when the following conditions exist. Inclement weather conditions, when the employee is on call and has primary responsibility to respond. Call out. A directive to an employee to report to a work site during off-duty time or day, and to respond to emergencies, which require immediate response to protect life and safety. Emergency preparedness or seasonal assignment. Town-owned vehicle usage is permitted when an employee is on call and the vehicle is taken home. attendance at required meetings or training, professional association meetings or committees, and the vehicle is taken home. And that's the end of it. And
Okay.
I would hope,
All right, you understand that? You heard it,
Indeed.
okay.
Sounds very logical.
All right, so we can ask the town administrator to type this up with our names on it and then sign it, and
Yep, I'll make a motion that we accept this policy for town-owned vehicles.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay.
I will ask the police chief to make sure he has one of these similar policies, because sometimes due to scheduling, they may have a cruiser overnight due to someone being on call. Just to make sure we have the same thing in place
Oh, yeah.
for him.
Nope, I-
Since this says highway or
Yeah.
public works, I'll make sure he has one also. If not, then I'll have him get one drafted also.
Well, that does occur sometimes when he goes on vacation and so forth, it may happen to,
Well, I know, we had a couple of inclement nights that we didn't have someone on overnight and it was on the on-call person in town.
Do you wanna make that into a general policy for all town?
Actually, I think
vehicles?
we'll do it with each department and we'll just, because
mean,
it
it's
may
only
change
those
between
two.
well,
departments.
this one here, well, somewhat.
Fire department does with the chief, he has his own vehicle, it would be the same situation.
All right, so, what'd you say?
No, I agree with Ben about the
Yeah, but
separation of departments.
this one here would not apply necessarily to the police department, I don't think, but because of,
Because if,
inclement weather conditions, doesn't, it
no,
could, but it
they don't
couldn't.
have they usually don't have someone called out, they usually have someone on duty who would be
Mhm.
calling in the highway
So-
department.
So you want to? You wanna just reword some of this to
I
apply
mean,
to
I'll let the chief
other
decide.
departments? Okay.
He may have a policy on hand already.
I'll ask him tomorrow, department head meeting.
All right, this one here is just, it's about emergency management. Once again, I don't know if either one of you have seen this, and you probably haven't, as far as there is a policy on here, and it's sort of a lengthy thing, but if you wanna read it, discuss it, or you go through it and then discuss it at the next meeting probably is the best,
Yeah, I would-
perhaps, I think, because this came out on March 14th, and we haven't had a meeting since,
How about if we get copies of that, and then we can read it,
is that what you wanted?
yeah, and then we can discuss it at the next meeting.
This here was directed to Mr. Cargill, apparently from, I don't know if you've ever seen this or not. You wanna discuss this? Are you familiar with it? It's just about a house down there which is
I did see it, and
basically up for,
it was,
tax sale.
we can discuss, if you would like. I believe the Conservation Commission got a copy of that too.
Yeah, they sent a copy to Bobby Boynton.
I'll do this after the meeting.
Yeah, I had looked at that quickly.
Yeah, it was in the folder.
I didn't understand, so that house actually is up for
You
tax.
know where it is, right?
Yeah, I know where the house is, but that's up for taxes for 3-year period.
Yeah.
Well, I
believe so.
kinda have a problem with taking properties because the taxes are due for conservation.
Okay,
Not to mention, it's not that large of a lot.
No.
I understand it's on the Sohegan River, but it's a living establishment.
Yeah,
right now, she's still living in it, but, I believe there's a possibility maybe moved out of there at some future date. That's basically, her family, I don't think, wants her to stay there anymore.
I mean, the problem is that once you start taking properties and now you're switching them from, income, revenue for the town to becoming just a piece of land in conservation.
All right.
Well, and we would have to take the house down, and
Well,
Conservation isn't gonna wanna oversee a
you
house.
probably would have to, yeah. That's the pictures of it that this lady sent.
Mhm. I would not be in favor
I
of
think
it,
you'll
but
probably find, if you read through this, you'll find that the lady that sent this is also a relative, so.
Yep.
Not that that's a detriment, but.
No,
just,
no, and
In fact, I don't know if she indicated in this that she was or not, but nevertheless. Okay, so you wanna, both of you feel that just, not disregard it, but
no, I mean.
tell her at this point in time, she's only in Peterborough, the real estate agent, so.
well,
I mean, the conservation committee got CC'd on that, right, Bob Williams?
Yep.
I mean, if he,
Well, he hasn't said anything, I don't know.
yeah, but what I'm saying, if he has an interest in it, he would be coming and seeing us about it.
You would think he would, cause it was February 19th actually that she wrote this, which,
He's never not seen us when he wanted to do something with a property.
okay. So the answer is, basically, as far as you're concerned, it shouldn't go to conservation and it shouldn't be town property, right? Is that what you're saying? It could end up that way anyway. through a
Unless the
deed, but-
Conservation Commission came to us and gave us real good reasons why they wanted it in it, I
Yeah.
do not see any need to.
I don't think that's happened. Okay, so we'll just, and that was to, what I call themselves, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, which is Marciello, and it's in Peterborough, so.
I just
We can-
can't see converting tax revenue property into, you know, current use property.
We can relay that message to her anyway.
You know, and if the conservation committee came forward and said, well, look, we wanna do this or that, put a little I mean,
At this point in time, I don't know, I'd have to call him, and I haven't talked to him lately, to be honest with you. I can call him probably tomorrow, but.
I actually, the next piece of paper you're picking up,
Yeah.
that's the water testing at the,
From L'Oreal.
yeah. I would actually like to get a copy of that and maybe discuss that next week.
Okay.
And review that.
You wanna make it now, or you want?
Oh, you just put it with a pile of copies that were,
Oh, those are all copies, all right. There we go. And you know about this one, right? We're all familiar with the Oak Hill Road
Yes.
problem. All right, I guess we are. Anyway, did you even look at this map that was attached to this?
no, I
Have you-
haven't
you
had a
haven't
chance
either?
to look at the
I
map.
have not
All
yet.
right. This is a letter from one of the residents up there who feels, now, if you go back and look in 2007, where that actually happened? No, maybe it was 2008, where they finally took some action, and there was a thing that clarified it, supposedly took care of it. Even though, his question right now, Mr. Lucia, who sent the letter,
Yep,
which is attached to that, his main question is whether they can legally put a gate up there on the end, up on Collins Road.
now, that's a private road, right?
Yep, that's owned by Richard Aho.
And just my opinion, I would think that they could. Just talking off the cuff, I
Well,
mean,
That's
it's-
what we need to know, okay.
I mean, I have to go and look, do the planning regulations, but I mean, that's private property.
As you well know, if you've done any research on it, the stipulation at one time, at one planning board meeting in 2000, oh, maybe, no, it was in 2000 something, where they had written on, in fact, I think it might even be attached to that, but they had written on there that it was a private road, allowed, but it allowed public access. I think it was recorded that way. It was when there was some other individual that are no longer involved in town affairs on the planning board at the time.
But-
And when, who was the selectman? David Lage, I think Dutch and
David Carolina,
David Caroline was selectman. The board, the planning board, well, between them, they took some further action and had that recorded also.
but how can you
What can you?
have a private road and tell them that you have to allow public access when the town doesn't plow the road or maintain the road?
I don't think you can. I think that was a
Only-
mistake on their part because it's not legal. I mean, you don't have any business on private roads as far as the town
Yeah.
doing anything or telling anybody anything. You do so at your own risk if you travel it.
Because, I mean, if you think about it,
Mm.
the road goes up. If you have a lot in between where that road adjourns the other road, there's no access to that other road if there was a lot there.
Well, right now, you're gonna be, well, it'll come up shortly. I think he has to go to ZBA now because he needs a variance or whatever. He wants to do a subdivision up there, which you may or may not know about, on the
Nope,
right-hand
I
side
don't
up there where, he has two lots, or two lots. He wants to do a two-lot subdivision there, and you don't remember it, but
Now,
years ago, he.
is this a issue that's gonna come before the planning board?
Yes, it is.
Then I can't really discuss that because of being on the planning board.
I know, that puts you in a bad place. I've been there. I know what you're talking about, but just so you'll know, familiar with
yeah.
what's happening.
I mean, I can only discuss the merits of having the gates and bars up there, if that's what, I
Well, it
can't
wouldn't be any
discuss the
bars
future.
necessarily,
No, it'd
but-
be a gate or whatever, I can't really discuss
If
any
you go
future
way
plans
back,
going up
which-
there.
did you do any research on that? You haven't, right, Ben?
No, this is the stuff Joanna got out for us,
Well,
and I have not seen it
could
since
I-
Thursday I talked to her,
I know,
so.
but maybe you could take that stuff, some of that stuff home and read it or
I
whatever,
will.
or come down here tomorrow or whenever and familiarize yourself with the whole thing. But when you get to that 2007 or 2008 action, then
That'd be this
that
one right
should've-
here.
that was sent to, what?
That's that one
This
right
one?
there, saying release of the public access easement.
Yeah, and then there was some other action, I thought
Can I see
there
that for a
was a later
second?
one.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was by
All
the
right.
Board of Selectmen.
Well, that's an issue that has been, he was in here today for, I don't know how long, unfortunately, too. And he's got some good points, I'm sure. But he thinks that he has a liability there as a landowner if somebody gets hurt on his property.
And he does.
I don't think so.
Uh,
On the road?
yep,
No.
okay.
Why do you say that?
Because I know if someone is on a dirt bike or on on
Oh,
a
if
class
it's not
6 or anything on my property, even though I didn't allow them, I'm still liable.
And if it come down your driveway with a car and something happens,
I'm liable.
Yeah, if they go right into your house.
okay, but this is a case where everybody that lives there on that private road basically is responsible for it as far as maintenance, et cetera.
He's not solely, but it'd be everybody that is
I
part of
think-
that road
Yeah.
would be
But I think
liable.
that the developer is the one that's actually responsible for it.
Yeah, but I mean.
As
how
long as
many-
he's still in business, otherwise they're going to go after
But-
anybody that.
Yeah, he's still in business, cause he's gonna, like I said, he's gonna.
I
become-
understand.
But
I'm
let's
just-
look at Green Farm.
What?
The whole reason about one of the reasons behind the Green Farm petitioning for being a road was that the developer wasn't viable and wasn't gonna plow anymore.
No, he had said that, but
Yeah.
in theory, legally, if it ever went to court, who was gonna be the one that was gonna be liable for it? He had signed agreements with those
Oh.
people, you remember that, don't you?
Yep.
It would have been an extended thing, there's no doubt about it, so, but as it turned out, I think, I haven't heard anything about the other end of it, the rest of the road. That 3,470 feet or whatever it is has been well taken
So
care of, they're all happy.
is this here selectmen meeting minutes or planning board?
That's what I was trying to figure out. And
Well, because it says Benty? Is that
No,
what you're
yeah,
asking?
and then you have David,
Carolina and
or David Lage made
That's
it.
David Lage. This is
Okay.
Benty. Benty was the selectman representative to the planning board.
so if that went through planning.
So
board-
basically Dutch wasn't on the
Right.
board during that time, then he had replaced Dutch.
No, he wouldn't have been, right. He was on there when some other actions were supposedly taken, but
Well, it is-
this one here is Joanne sent the letter, copy of to the board of selectmen
Yeah, so that must be,
regarding, oh, that was a different thing. But that was planning board, so those are minutes from a planning board minute. You don't want any of this?
I will come in tomorrow and finish
Right.
reading it. I got something in the morning,
Right, this goes with that.
yep.
and I'll have.
This
well,
other letter from Peter Russo, who is an abutter also, goes with it.
okay,
He's one of the ones that lives up, I think he lives just up beyond Lucy.
that's
but-
different.
Give him this,
That's not dealing with that.
no, I know that, I'm just saying.
What's that?
It's addressed to me.
No, it's in Bev.
Oh, I thought that said Ben. I'm sorry. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, this is about,
I seriously, I thought that said
Alright.
Ben because
Cool.
she had talked to me about it recently. So
you're gonna come down and go through that stuff, and
Yeah,
then
well,
we need to send him back an answer within, well, he had given me 3 weeks, but I think he's extended that now.
okay.
But he wants some sort of answer if we can do it. I don't know if we can, even- whether you
I think
can
we're
get
going
a
to have
legal
to
opinion or
I
not.
think we
Yeah, I
can give a response to Mike, and planning board's going to have to give the actual response. I think.
Actually, not, I don't think that's a planning board issue.
Okay.
The town is actually like the town of New Ipswich, the board of selectmen accept roads. That road's never been accepted. So that's private property.
Well, it was
Okay.
accepted.
No, then I'll.
It's not.
It's not accepted by the town, but it
That's
was
what I'm saying.
accepted by the planning board on the site plan, or the plot
But
plan.
it's
I
still
should say.
not a town accepted road because the planning board does not accept roads.
You know,
The board of
even though
selectmen,
some of them may disagree with
but
you.
that's fine. They can disagree with me all they want.
They would.
And I know, and I've had discussions with them before.
I know you have.
But the board of selectmen accept roads.
Okay.
There's been no board that has accepted that road. Therefore, in my opinion, that makes that private property. Therefore, they are within their legal right of putting a
Okay.
gate across the
Which
road.
should have been
As long
done-
as it doesn't.
It It should have been done
impede another landowner from using
way
it.
back in.
Yeah, I mean, if the person who, if the person who owns the road
Yep,
They're just
has the
looking,
right to the road,
Yes.
because that would be private property,
yes,
says, on my private property, I want to put a gate, that's his property to put the gate on.
okay, but at one time, if you read back in these minutes, and I think they're included here, you'll see where the planning board had okayed certain things up there. One of them was that there would be a gate up there too. Even though Bob Lucia says it didn't go all the way to the top, it did, at that time anyway, because there would have been a gate up there, and it would have simply been used only for fire department
Yep.
apparatus, emergencies, and
That's a good reason to have the gate that emergency vehicles
and the
could
fire
get through to
chief at
get
that
the.
time went along with it, because if you have to run all, the reason behind it was if you had to run all the way out around to Perry Road and
To
then
go
up
up to
around, and
Collins.
take that sharp turn onto Collins Road
Yep.
and all that stuff. Whereas you could go just down Gorham Road.
And
or
those,
whatever, but-
and note that gate should, if they're gonna put a gate there, it should be that type that emergency services could get through there. But what, I don't see how the town cannot say that they cannot have a gate there when it's private
Not-
property.
Neither do I. I agree with you.
I mean,
well,
And that,
and
and
the only
I would make that our opinion.
I have no
Alright.
problem with that.
You wanna put it in writing? Is that what you wanna do?
I have no problem with that. I mean, unless there's something, and again, George, going to your vast knowledge of RSA's, I mean,
Well, that comes on a planning board RSA. No, it doesn't. Comes on the roads,
yeah,
231s and all that. But
And-
anyway,
and it's not a town accepted road, so it's not a public right of way.
the town was remiss in the beginning, to be honest with you, and it shouldn't have happened the way it did. The town of New Ipswich for a number of years was allowing, he may remember, subdivisions on class 6 and private roads. You remember that? Even though they shouldn't have been, because there was an RSA that was enacted in the late 70s, I think it is, that applied to that. And you couldn't have a subdivision on those type of roads. It had to be class 5 or better. Well, the New Ipswich was behind, to be honest with you.
But there was
anyway,
nothing in the regulations that said class 5, was there at the time when they were doing that?
When they did
In the
what?
town of New Ipswich's
I
regulations?
think there was. I think it's a
Right.
gray area, because when he first started this was in 1981.
Because if you look at certain
Which one?
developments that want to go forward, there's sections of road that are class 6 that come off a class 5 road,
Yeah.
and people are trying to build developments on them. Take, I don't know about building a development, but Benny Hill. That, once that, from that Gates Point where the gate used to be, that's a class 6 road all the way out there.
Till the
Well,
other end
not-
where it's developed.
It is, but it isn't because of the court's ruling,
But,
Michael.
yeah, I know, but
If they went and they rebuilt that road, as you well know,
up to a class 5.
they'd have to build it to class 5
Yeah.
specs, and then the town has to
Accept it.
accept that road.
I know.
That was the court's ruling
Yeah,
from Judge whatever her name is.
So that's one thing the town should start looking into, is finding out where these class 6 roads are and making them no longer roads.
They're all over New Ipswich.
And maybe that's,
And,
you know, a plan, I mean, and then you'll stop having development on roads that shouldn't be developed on.
see, what people do to have plenty of time is they go to the registry of deeds and they research these things to see, like the old county roads.
Yep.
There's so many of them going through New Ipswich.
Oh, yeah.
There's one right over here that goes up and across the Ashby Road. I don't know if you know it or not, but right up by the old cemetery and, comes out down there.
Oh,
It's crazy.
there's a road that if you go down Country Club Road, well, it's a cat path, you're going, from Appleton, you go all the way down to,
Preston Hill
River Road.
There's
Yeah,
Preston
you
Hill
keep
Road
going,
down there.
and then there's that gate, it's
It
section.
cuts down across and
Yep.
goes across to Ashby Road and goes then across over
Yep.
the bridge and up to the country club.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the old, what used to be called the country club road or country road at one time.
I mean, there's a, and
There
that,
were
those are
people
the,
that tried to do that, but
those are the things that maybe
you're
the
exactly
planning
right.
board or someone should be looking into. You know, I'm not against development, but you have to have development in an area that will handle it.
So now what he's gonna do, as you probably just read, is he's gonna, or I said, I think, was that he's gotta go to ZBA now and see if they'll give him a variance to put those other 2 houses over there, or subdivide that land. Because it is of the road status and so forth. So anyway, that's enough, we've all on that enough, I guess.
So I mean, unless someone has a different opinion than mine,
No, I was
I
just making
mean-
sure we're not stepping off of something that a different board had said prior. That's the reason we asked for the research into it.
Yeah.
And I will read through again and make sure.
No,
like-
well, we don't have to make a decision, we can send them, we can meet next Tuesday.
Well, we'll have an official vote next Tuesday. I'll double check through all those minutes. And if there is something contradictory, we'll
You're
make
gonna
a,
find a couple
change
of
to
things
it.
that are contradictory, I think.
well, we'll make
Some
some,
right in this packet you just have.
But, I mean, again, just because they're contradictory, are they the proper thing that should have been done at the time?
we will try
That's
to
it.
make
Okay.
a ruling
In
and
all
move
honesty,
forward.
What one of those things that happened was it enhanced other people that lived up on Collins Road, gave them a shortcut, so.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna go any
Yeah.
deeper than that.
No, and that's-
There are some things there that entered into it, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
But, I mean, if you're talking about someone's private property, that's like saying, hey, my neighbor can drive right through my backyard and out my driveway to make it a shortcut. That's not right either.
No. Okay, so you're gonna bring
I'll have
that
a
up
motion
next
for
week?
next week.
Okay, then it'll be on the agenda next Tuesday night again. But this will be hopefully the end of it.
Yep.
I
I
hope
don't
so.
know, I can't guarantee it. Okay, the other thing is here, as far as, Cindy's credit card.
Yep.
Contract, which it says here Beverly can sign it. Beverly signing
She's the treasurer, she has
Deb
to.
has to sign as the treasurer, but she wants you guys to approve it first.
it? She has to sign it as the treasurer?
Now, you've reviewed this, right?
It seems like a standard to me,
Yeah,
Credit
it's the
card,
same one we
yeah.
got earlier, Mike.
Where is it? See here?
Well, it's the whole contract
The
is
contract is
written out
there.
there.
To go through it?
Yes, I did on the previous one, it's the same thing. That's why I was making sure it was the same exact
Well-
contract as we previously were given when she came in with the other one.
This is the one that Cindy's involved in, right?
This
Only.
works with her program, yes.
Right, because there are some other credit cards that are also in the works as far as, so each department head
Yeah.
will have a credit card. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
But this is accepting credit
Yeah,
cards,
this
this
is
is not
the-
using
I
credit
understand,
cards.
it, right, the service. So, I guess, no, if she can sign it, she can sign it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
moved to accept this company.
Legally, only people can sign contracts for a town as a selectman, but that's beside the point.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay.
People voted for it?
It's,
They voted for it.
it's as safe of a user as we're going to get,
Oh,
and it works with her. Her
No,
program.
people live by credit cards.
She's happy with this, I guess, huh? Apparently. Hmm. What's the next issue gonna be? Oh, I didn't see that. Did I? No. All right, so Beverly is, oh, we'll give it to Beverly. I don't wanna do it anyway. Okay, this one here was Winton. Oh, okay, I think we've gone through this enough. All right. Now, any other office documents
well,
besides
there's a
these?
couple other things in that folder,
What? You sure?
yes,
What was it?
well, unless you took them out somewhere, but.
You talking about this, for the winter
No,
maintenance snow
that's next week.
schedule? Yeah, if she comes in here, you talking about the Zaramba group that's coming on April 4th?
No, we should announce that.
Huh? I should announce it, yeah, that, the hearing that was rescheduled from last Thursday, not last Thursday, from March 14th. They're coming on Thursday, April 4th, to the ZBA.
And that's Dollar General, right?
Yes, it is.
It's the company that oversees
No.
Dollar General, yes.
They call themselves the Zaramba group, I guess.
That's their real estate holder.
At 8:30 PM, if anybody is interested. That was dated March 11th. So far, I don't think they've canceled that date, so if they will, Joanne will tell us. What did I miss? I was gonna call her Marie. I better not do that, huh?
In the back of the folder, there's a personnel issue, hirings
Hmm?
for the rec department.
Well, that, yeah, but
That's
you got
non-public.
written non-public on that.
Yes, it is.
All right, so
Just pull that
Which you
aside.
can go- Right, I just wanna make sure you don't,
I don't what, discuss it?
No,
that you
forget
don't
about it.
forget it.
This one
I want
either?
you to take it
Yeah.
out, yeah.
So,
No, okay. I don't know if that one needs to be discussed any longer anyway. No. All right, so that should be everything that's in here, I think. Now, okay. If it isn't, then deserve to be chastised. Okay, these here, as we said, I think this will make it a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
Michael, then, if we do this at a regular meeting, then Roger won't be calling you at 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And wanting
I've
you
been trying to do them at the regular meetings, so yeah, I don't mind keep doing it.
No, the way we were doing it before was, it's just like minutes. The minutes from next Tuesday night, you're gonna approve from that night, right then and there,
Sounds
with a
good.
vote, which, like I said, hadn't been done for quite a while. I don't know why it stopped, but anyway, I'd rather do it that way. What should happen is, if Roberta can email or send you copies
Yep.
of the minutes, and leave me a copy on the table, and then we can come here and read them, hopefully intelligently. All right, that's one manifest. These are all the time cards. You go through these?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You find any discrepancies?
I did not.
All right.
I do gotta
Then
give,
I can go on top.
That's what you're signing for. What?
I gotta give Peter a lot of credit. His guys fill those out very nicely.
Well, hopefully things work out with the way they would do things and so forth. Sometimes we have problems, but try to overcome without too much of a fanfare. All right, so that's all that has to be signed in here. The checks are, oh, they're here. Yeah, the checks are here too. Did you sign these,
I
Mike?
haven't signed any of them.
I haven't either, neither did Ben. All right, this is a manifest for basically for, it's not payroll, it's for accounts receivable. Anyway, these manifests have all been checked by Roger, and I think Roberta's gone through all of them. Did you go through them all? Okay. You didn't find any discrepancies or anything you want to change?
No.
You've already signed this one, okay.
I missed that one.
Which?
The one Mike's got in his hand there. Tag wasn't sticking out far enough.
This will make it easier all the way around for both
Yep.
Roberta and Roger, as far as, like I said,
There you go.
trying to find people during the day.
Yep.
It's not easy when you guys work or whatever. And, okay, that one's done. You want these or just leave them in here?
Just leave it.
All right, so all of this stuff we've accepted.
Yep.
Yep.
So there aren't any problems that you found?
I did not.
No.
Okay,
Okay, just see something.
yeah, go ahead, take whatever you want, that's why we're doing it. Oh, that's fast, how come? You're going too fast, Roberta, we gotta slow down. We need to go into
All right.
a non-public after. What?
I had a question about this bill here, right? If we had an invoice dated December 31st, 2012,
Should
does
have
that
been,
come out of last year's money, or is it too late now to?
Too late.
Okay.
it should have, when was it received though?
It says
What's the
the
receipt date
balance,
right up there?
oh,
March?
this is March 18th,
Yeah,
but this
that's when
is,
you received
this
it.
is the balance forward though, from a different,
I understand that, but I think what they have to go by here and what auditors will go
no,
by
is the,
is
yeah,
the date you actually received
yeah,
it.
and it says
No.
on this, it says billing through
Yeah,
3/13.
your question was a good one because it
Yeah,
probably should
because
have
we
been
need-
included.
Yeah, I mean, we need to tighten stuff. I mean, obviously, we were in influx
That's-
this year.
That's what the
Pass that
lawyer
down.
for the planning. board-
Yeah, that's why I looked at it.
You signed all these, right?
Yes.
Is there anything else I missed, Roberta?
I don't think so, as
Okay,
long as they're all signed.
all right.
Alright, so that's all
Now-
the documents.
What?
That's all the
I
documents.
think it is. Is there any other business that you have?
I actually do have a little piece of
Go
business.
ahead.
And I wanna get an opinion of the board. Building 2. We'll start off going a little revisionist history. 2 years ago, there's a lot of things going on, and when the Green Center moved to Building 3,
Yep,
there was the garage area.
that's correct.
In that garage area, all the equipment was supposed to move from the highway garage, the old highway garage, up to there. And then we basically shut off the heat you know, it would cut the cost on electricity and stuff like that. So, right now, we really can't do that, because there's the emergency management trailer in that building.
Plus the picnic benches and all
Yeah,
that stuff,
which-
but that's another
Yeah,
issue.
and this, I had talked to the municipal,
Well, the public works
the
director?
public works director, thank you. And we were talking about, now the trailer. Is there any reason in the world we cannot put that in a Sally Port in building 2?
I don't know if there is or not, because of the fact that he doesn't have anything in that trailer to start with that would freeze or anything in cold weather, right?
Nope.
Of course, we're coming in warm
No.
weather, but still.
The trailer would be outside, indoors, I mean, it's not like, it's protected by being an outdoor trailer.
Now, that's the Jim Hicks trailer you're
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
Which was originally scheduled to be put somewhere else, there's no doubt about it.
So, is there any reason in the world we cannot put that trailer in there?
Not unless it was due to the fact that it could possibly, and I say possibly because I think it's remote, become contaminated or
But
whatever
then
from
couldn't
the
we take
building.
a power washer, take the trailer outside, let the wind, you know, blow around the trailer and power wash it off?
I mean, if you needed to use it?
Yeah. If there was that much, I mean, also, we have the test results for that area in the building,
Yeah, but
which,
remember when that was?
yeah, but I mean, if you had, any or low concentration, it's not gonna change. You know, it's not like all of a sudden you've got a tropical rainforest of mold in there.
I'm trying to think if there were any spots on that, indications in that particular area that.
We still have the, I mean, it's,
we
It's a
still have it
steel
somewhere.
door, it's a steel door.
yeah, it's all cement, the walls are cement.
Only thing we could do to prevent any future would be the heat duct that goes in, we could cap. And that would
But I
seal,
mean, the
finish
heat-
sealing the room. No, I'm just saying, we could finish sealing the room
That'll fit in
without
that door,
spending
right?
any money and just. be
Yeah,
done.
it's all been measured. I mean, you could if you want to, you could duct tape poly sheeting above it because of the sheetrock on top, and then you have the cement walls. That's all brand new
You
cement
can
on the
also
floor.
cover the trailer with poly,
Yeah, you could do that too, put a tap over it.
or just by regular.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any reason in the world that we don't put and this is, I want.
No, I have no issue with that.
And then,
As long as Jim's okay with that. To a point.
yeah, I mean, we need, in my opinion, we had made an agreement 2 years ago,
At least
two previous boards ago, my first year as a selectman.
Might even
That-
been before that.
No, it was my first year, that the stuff, the equipment in the highway, in the old highway garage would move up here. That building would be vacant, and we'd shut off the power and the heat. We
Was it-
spent, I forget the exact figure, we spent at least $750 to $1,500 in heat for that building this year.
Where?
The old highway garage.
Oh, down there, yeah.
No, no.
You
And
probably-
we're already heating over there.
But you're still gonna be paying for heating there somewhat,
Why?
aren't you? In the old garage?
If you have nothing in
You wanna
there?
move everything out of there, is what
Yeah,
you're saying?
that's the
And
agreement.
put it down here?
Yeah. And I talked to Peter about moving the picnic tables and clearing out that area so things will fit.
I got no problem with that.
I don't either, I guess, but
So can I I'll make a motion that we move the emergency management trailer into the Sally Porter Building 2. Well, if need possible, we will have it covered with poly sheeting. And then, to, authorize the highway department to clear out the garage side next to the green center, so the equipment at the old highway garage will fit in there.
the only problem is that the Green Center thinks that they need more space
It-
also.
you know what?
You know that, don't you?
But that, and they had an agreement of the space they were gonna get.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
That
what it
would-
was.
no,
What they got now? or
What they got now is the agreement that we had for space.
I know they don't have, no.
Listen, I mean, we're paying for heating
Go ahead.
bills at a highway garage that we're not using, and we're paying heating here. I mean, I'm not trying to nickel and dime anyone,
Paying
but
heating down there where it is now, you're not paying any in this building.
you pay heating, no, I'm talking about heating in where,
Right,
where we
I just wanna
could,
clarify that.
yeah. What I'm saying is, we'd only be paying to heat one area instead of the old highway garage.
far as I was concerned, the old highway garage should have been gone a long time ago. I mean, if there were gonna be demolitions, that should have been one of them, but it wasn't, so. You know it as well as I do, but that's another issue.
But I'm getting back to.
I
Let's
don't
get it
mind-
cleared out
I don't
first,
mind
then we
clearing
can,
it out.
then we can,
You're gonna talk to Jim Hicks about
I can,
moving the trailer up there?
Yep.
And covering it with,
Yeah, polishing.
should be,
whatever he feels appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, if the trailer's outside,
Mhm.
I mean, it's a trailer that you have to open up
you know, what else
doors.
goes with it? I don't remember.
What do you mean?
That was it, just that trailer?
Yeah, I mean, and the other stuff, the benches, you know, the picnic table frames, Peter will take care of.
And you're gonna bring that water tanker or whatever it is in that other building up here?
That's the fire chief's responsibility.
He doesn't have any other place to put it, does he?
We've discussed this. This
How
is
many
going on,
times?
this
Yeah.
is going on year 3.
Okay.
I feel,
What else has he got in there? You remember, there's a boat in there?
you know, once
Yeah.
that trailer's gone, there's plenty of room. You know, and then if there's not, then we'll figure out where, we'll find room to. I would think you would put anything in that building because it's heated, building 3, that would have to have, like a tanker would need heat, so
It
you
does,
put it in
yeah.
there.
But if you put it on the other side, what, because I guess my big thing always was that the highway didn't need all that space that they got out there. I think, maybe I'm wrong, but. one
But
of-
that's something we can discuss with Peter
one
if
of
we
the
run
things
out of
that
room.
You may know or don't know is that when they pack their stuff in there and they get real close to that wall, did you ever go in there and look at that old, not two shed, what was it? And in the green center down there, you remember where the roof was leaking, but it's not
Yeah.
anymore? You look opposite right there, there's all kinds of water that comes through that wall. You know where the water comes from? Because the level in the highway is a little bit higher than the level in
Okay.
in that little room. That water comes right in through there, underneath the wall, if you will.
Alright.
And then that
I've
was
never
one of
been
their
up
big
on
No, not on the roof.
Alright.
This is on the floor,
Yeah.
Michael.
Oh, okay, you're talking about
No.
water coming up.
Yeah, if you go down there and look, you go in there and you look,
Yeah.
you'll see, you know what, the leak in the roof, what, the skylight was leaking, it was leaking, cause it's been fixed.
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
If you look just opposite that, you'll see a great big puddle, it's probably still there, or was there, from when they bring vehicles in, grader, for example, and then it sits right close to the wall, all the snow and stuff that's on the grader melts, and the water just goes in through there. And that was one of their problems, and still a problem. I don't know if Peter's done anything about it or
Wow.
not, but I was hoping he would. I had asked him to see if they couldn't park them in somewhat of a different way. That's just ridiculous. Those people working in water down there that
no,
was,
and if someone touches a light switch and
Yeah.
they're in water or,
you have a liability. I
Yeah.
don't care how many releases they sign
You know,
as far as volunteers.
you know, again, people who have you know, an idea that you can't sue a town or this and that, that's not true.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
let's be honest.
This town's been sued before.
Yeah,
I
you
can
know.
tell you that from experience.
There's a lot of
Anyway,
people who think that you're
That's
protected.
another issue, so. Anyway, okay, so
So
you're
you're
gonna
gonna talk to Jim Hicks?
I will talk to Jim, and I'll have him get ready to move it,
Well, actually, the highway department moves it anyways.
so perfect. But I'll have him get it ready so that they can move it, I'll have him work with Peter on it.
Originally, that was not even gonna be here in this town at one time, right?
You know
You
what,
remember
I
that?
wasn't,
You
no, I
don't
wasn't
remember
on the
that?
board then.
He was gonna take it and, where the heck was he gonna haul it to? Maybe Ronald knows, but,
I think it's somewhere in Jaffrey.
yeah, some other town.
No, I mean, I don't, I mean, for the use that it gets, I can't see why it can't just sit there. Now we
All
can
right.
clear up that other building. Roberta
Okay, so-
Need a
had some.
second for the motion.
Oh, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right, so we need to talk also to,
David,
you got a staff meeting tomorrow, so
Yes.
you can bring that up and I don't know what what his reaction is gonna be or not gonna be.
I mean, I've
We'll see.
discussed this with David before.
I know that, we've all discussed it before.
I mean, I'm not trying
No.
to back channel
I
it,
know.
but it's something that
No.
supposed to have been done, and we've kind of lost sight because things got put where they really weren't supposed to go. That's the only business I have.
Now, which trailer is it? Is it emergency?
Management, that, just the trailer part for going into Sally, there's the rest of the fire department stuff that's in the old highway department
Okay, that's
is
what
getting
the
moved
motion
up
is.
into next to the green center where they used to be.
Yeah, they-
Hopefully.
yeah, they have
That's
a
the-
tanker.
Whatever they
Yeah.
have for equipment in
Yep.
there.
the tanker.
If
has
he
to
wants
be-
to rearrange stuff so
Yeah.
things are
I mean, you
different
can work with
spots, he
Peter.
can, whatever it is, but that's up to
Yeah.
him.
Okay. That's settled, right, or is
Yeah.
it, maybe it is, maybe it isn't?
I mean, it's settled on this end.
Okay, well, yeah, but we thought it was 2 years ago or whatever
Well-
it was due, remember?
I have 11 more months, so maybe we'll be able to get
What
done
are
by the time I
What are
get
you
done.
doing, counting your time?
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
You know what, I'm sorry, I gotta learn that I cannot joke around.
No.
No, it's surprising when you
Doesn't
say
hurt
something
anything.
and it comes back and it's really, I've gotta tone down my sense of humor.
All right, next thing is there any other business as far as, do you wanna,
I have an announcement.
yeah, go ahead.
That recreation department, we have men's basketball on Saturday nights. It's from 6 to 8, and it's at the Highbridge Hill Elementary School gym.
Okay,
Any adult male over 18 years who wants to come down, it's, just recreation basketball, get some exercise. Sounds good.
what was the reason that we put 0 in the budget for the Easter egg hunt, do you remember? That somehow it was put in there
I
at 0.
discussed it with,
Hmm?
who is the rec director,
Yeah.
Eric, today, and he said that he had put 400 in it, so he thinks it
I
may
think,
have just been entered incorrectly, I have to look into it.
I think it has, because we didn't, the only thing.
well, right now it says 0, is that on, what do you got on the
My
form
budget
going to the
printout.
state, or was it? It's
No.
not on there anyway, okay, so you just have the total, but that was her question, cause I don't remember doing that,
No, we never zeroed out the Easter egg event.
well, on the original, when the thing was originally
Alright, where's
typed
that?
in, on the sheet, I should say, on the printout from, is that the one from the
The
February?
department requested 250. Finance advisory approved nothing,
No, that's what it
and then
says.
we have approved nothing.
Right, that's what,
Well, my question was, I thought there was some money that was in there, not just what he was asking for in the beginning.
The only budget lines that we got were basketball.
Yeah.
We took 1,000 out of there, and that was it. We had removed 1,000 out of basketball.
And that was due to what?
And
'Cause
that was due because you don't need $1,500
To run the
to
program.
run the
we
program.
got 500 right now.
Yeah,
that's what we ended
500.
up- Okay,
And that helps out with the summer and
Right.
stuff like that.
he said that he had asked for 450?
he put 400 down.
Well, it says here, I mean, with what I'm looking at, department request,
For Easter egg.
Easter egg, 250. And you can always,
Well, that's what
Yeah.
it said, next year department, you're right, it did say that, and then it also says finance committee 0, and board of selectmen 0, and I don't remember believing that as 0, that's my problem.
I mean, we spent 0 on the Easter egg hunt last year.
0, it was? Well,
Yeah.
How did we do it then? Where did we had one,
No, you know what it is? We used the no, yeah, we must have that must not have got logged in right.
well, that was my question.
Because
But-
what happened is the budget passed,
Yeah,
and we went to the new budget for the rec department,
right. Which is,
which you should see whatever money they spent on the East. I mean,
okay, the total, the budget is 14,632, does that agree with what your memory bank says
Yeah.
it was originally?
yes, it does.
All right, so where are the differences then as far as, like Easter egg hunt, I had in
You have
my
one
head
thou-
that there was some money there, but maybe
You
I'm
have
wrong.
1,000 from basketball, so I think the difference is talking more in, yeah, the difference is the, Medicare, no, workers' compensation number. If you look here, right,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
there's a-
$80 right now,
yeah,
right?
80, and it was 187, so that's 100.
No,
That's-
that's what was recommended from finance committee, Mike,
Yeah,
for
but,
this year,
okay, listen, just listen, let me
2013.
go,
Go ahead.
alright, you have the 15, right?
Mm-hmm,
Okay, that's what happened when you got through the board of through the finance, right? And then it went down to 14, so that's $1,100, right?
mm-hmm.
1,000 got hit from the basketball, and
Yeah.
100 got hit from the, workers' comp. That's the $1,100 that came out of his budget.
But nothing,
There was no Easter egg money in that budget after it left the finance.
he had requested $250, all right.
You know what, you know what, the only problem is that, cause that line zeroed out, you can't spend
You can't, that's right.
for that sole purpose, but he can shift money to his Parks and Rec supply line and use money out of the supply line.
That's where I charged it to.
I think, yeah, 'cause she had a bill for
You
what,
already paid it.
900 and something? Is that
No,
what it was?
300, almost
3
400.
something?
Yeah.
No, already for the Easter, 'cause he's bought all kinds of supplies.
But I mean, last year they rebought supplies because the year before, we lost all the supplies because of building two.
Yeah, all right. Okay, well, that was just a question that Roberta had asked, and
Yeah, no,
I
I
wanted
mean,
to see if you could remember,
I-
because
I
I
do
was
not-
under the
I-
impression there was money in there. for
I would
some
not
reason.
take money out of that.
I'd have to go back and look at all the sheets and stuff.
But I showed you where the $1,100
I
came
see- I
from.
know that now, I remember that.
Cause I'm the one who made the motion on the basketball.
You did, that's right, because that, who would know better than you, I guess, 'cause you handled it.
Because I was actually gonna make a motion on adult recreation, cause we've never spent any money on adult recreation every year that,
Well, this year he wanted to do certain things, if
I-
you remember right, when he
and-
did
and-
it. You
and-
remember his presentation?
and we will see.
Or were you
what
here
he
when
does.
When he,
And at that point,
were you here when he presented? No.
no, he gave you a piece of paper with everything.
It was, yeah, but he came to the that's where he did his
Yeah.
Yep.
official presentation to the
Yeah.
finance committee.
Oh, we'll see what gets done and then we'll evaluate
All right,
at the
so-
end of the year.
Okay, but I guess that answers your question somewhat, but I don't know if it's,
I mean, he'd have to use a supply line.
Yeah.
because, like, she did that anyway, I believe, so. If he had other things that he was buying, he better be advised that he doesn't have as much money in there for supplies as he thought he had. Okay, anything else? You got anything?
I had nothing.
Nothing?
Has the recreation department come and talked to you about their date for the fishing derby at the cemetery pond?
No, I was gonna ask you about that.
I had given Eric the application
Hmm.
for it. I think it May 11th they're looking at.
May 11th?
Yeah.
Would you want an okay from tonight? or-
No.
Was that the date for
He-
sure?
as I explained to him,
Hmm.
he needs to talk to the trustees of the cemetery to get permission to use the cemetery, which they always give,
Right.
but you
Still
you
need to ask it.
just do not assume.
No, I don't think there's any problem with it. I'm only one trustee.
I know.
Still, nevertheless, if he wants to come and talk about it, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. It's been,
I mean,
how many years now?
Wow.
You started
Yeah,
it.
my daughter's a freshman in college, so this is probably year 8.
Did you start it?
Not the original one.
You
I
did?
brought it
Who
back to
did?
life. The Friends of Recreation did.
That was
That was
Friends,
Billy Kivela,
Friends of Recreation? Yeah,
Mr.
you're right.
Mr.
No,
Haig,
Tony Haig,
Tony Haig, all good guys.
he's still around.
Oh, yeah. He actually works at the Shattuck. So every time I go golfing, I get to see him.
Yeah, he's been there for quite a while. I don't know whatever happened to the project over there on his scat, but anyway, that's another issue. Okay, anything else as far as publicly? Any other issues, things we should be discussing in public?
No, I
Do you have
think,
anything, Roberta?
I don't, this time, no.
Oh,
Ben?
No, I'm all set.
All
look at
right,
She's been here over a week, and she doesn't have anything to bring up.
that's good.
Wait till next
Wait till
week
next
comes.
week,
Yeah.
Wait till she has a first real department head meeting.
She had one last week.
Yeah, but I was there for a little bit. This next one will be, oh, the selectman said what? Ugh.
It went well. It went well, didn't
Mr.
it?
Collins said what? Ugh.
Didn't it go well for you?
It did.
Good. All right, this is a form that I guess we have to fill out now when we do a non-public, right? Isn't that what the recommendation is?
Yes.
Who made this up, you? Or did you have a boilerplate form?
Originally, that came from me at the town of Winchester years ago, but it's been passed around to all the towns.
We've never done this, but it's a good idea, probably. Because there's always see, one of the things that did, or could happen is that, as you noticed, in one instance, there was non-public minutes put with public minutes. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that should necessarily happen, even if they are sealed, so. Or not sealed, I should say.
You want me to make the motion?
You do anything you want, Michael.
Well,
Yes.
can I see that so I can?
This?
Make it correctly?
Yeah,
What do you want, oh, what are you
What-
looking for,
what
the
I-
RSA?
yeah.
I got it right here. Remember the
Well,
green?
it's on the
Yeah.
form.
The green,
It's on the
it's
form,
on
too.
there, but it's in finer print. You got
Alright.
better eyes than I
I
have.
wanna make a motion, we enter non-public, due to RSA 91-A, semicolon 3, Roman numeral 2, B, letter B, the
B?
hiring of any person as a public employee.
Alright. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Alright, that calls for a roll call vote. Mr. Conlon?
Aye.
Mr. Lawrence? Aye. Mr. Cargill?
Aye.
Okay, vote was 3-0 to go into non-public session and, discuss hiring of employee, that's what you said.
Yeah,
right?
because that's what this one here is, right?
Well, yeah, is that what you want? Came out of non-public and made a decision. We are hiring Deborah Holmes from Old Country Road or Old County Road, Country Club Road, whatever name you want to give it, as the coordinator, along with Eric Maxwell of the Recreation Department. So, what's her annual pay? $2,400, I guess. Right?
Yeah, it's a stipend position.
A stipend job, and she will begin April 1st of 2013, so after she does all the paperwork and everything else. Okay, we'll see. Was there any other announcements?
Yeah, I made a motion. I have a motion on the floor to have selectmen meetings every 2 weeks.
I heard that. What'd you do? Did you second that?
No, I said I wouldn't right now.
I wouldn't either.
Okay.
You know how I feel about every 2 weeks.
That's fine.
Not that, you probably have your reasons for it, I'm
Yep.
sure of that, but maybe down the road we might for a while. Last year it was a long period of time.
And it didn't damage the town one bit.
No, we didn't always know what was going on either, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I did. I come and go visit department heads.
You
Talk to the
did?
town administrator.
Did you?
Yeah.
And you don't think I did?
Well,
you
said
did.
you just said I didn't know what was going on.
Well, we didn't as much. I don't think we had such, it becomes a communication thing when you do that, as far as I'm concerned, so. Just from sitting here tonight, I think we communicated pretty well. with
Yeah,
each-
the
with
audience
each
was
other.
enthralled.
Huh?
The audience is enthralled.
Yeah, they probably are. Look at them, sitting right there.
I moved
They're
to
speechless.
adjourn.
I'll second that.
There wasn't anything else you
I
had?
had nothing.
I know there must have been something else. But anyway, all right, there's a motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting is adjourned at 8:30.
39.
What?
8:39.
You got 8:39? It doesn't matter, 1 minute don't matter, either way.